broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Do it. Here you go. Yeah, there it is.
It's that kind of a week here at the Heroes AFTERBUZZ TV after show. We're going to be here. We're here for you to talk about season 1, episode 12, Company Woman.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Let it
Khalil
out.
is
Let it out. Let it out.
literally beside himself.
We're seeing a whole other side to him.
There you go. There you go. All right.
I'm not alone. I'm going to start to my far left.
Oh, you're looking at Jonathan Mesa. You can follow me at Kaiba Cat. How you holding up, Khalil?
I'm a mess. I'm a mess, but you can wish me well condolences at Khaliel Abooboo on Twitter and Instagram.
I don't know how to follow.
You don't. You just be you.
What's up, everyone? I'm Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at SeraphiniTV.
And I'm Steve Kaufmann. You can follow me on Twitter at Steve Kaufmann, Kaufmann. Before we jump into the show, I think we have to talk about the news.
We've got to talk about it.
The news that makes us all kind of sad, because we're people who like to talk about this show.
Yeah.
Week to week, that's the one thing we can all say. We really like to talk about. I really look forward to this panel.
Yeah. Regardless of how, what the episodes are like, and, regardless of how bad they are or good they are or whatever, it really has been a great panel. And, next week is going to be the end. It's going to be the end of our panel.
The end.
Yeah.
We need to get...
Here. Clink. We'll bring champagne along next week.
We need to get together and look at the upcoming, summer and the next fall shows and see if we as a panel can just pick up another show.
We should do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what else we should do? We should do all TV shows do right before they end. We do a whole episode just reminiscing best moments of the panel. We should do that.
I like
That's a
that.
possibility.
Hey guys, if you guys are watching for next week, write into us your best moments, your favorite moments of the AFTERBUZZ show of Heroes.
Yeah. We will read them loud in the
Yes.
comments. Tweet at us.
That's right.
Your favorite hashtags.
Your favorite hashtags.
Yes.
We have so many.
On the Heroes cancellation, because a lot of folks on Twitter have been tweeting at us about, do we think it should or shouldn't have? I'll say, from a fiscal standpoint, absolutely.
Fiscal.
Yeah.
Yeah. This show was not working out.
And here's what happened. It debuted to 6.09 million people, which any debut, especially a debut of this magnitude, is going to lose those people. It's going to lose a large portion of those people. They kept 5 million of them to the third episode the second week. Mm-hmm. Then they dropped to 4.4, then 4, then 3.8, then 3.95. They came back up. Then 3.97 came back up. 3.78, 3.72, 3.74, and that was last week. If you compare that to the final season of the original Heroes, it debuted at 5.7, peaked at 6.18, ended to 4.4 million people.
Yeah, where are we at right now though?
3.7.
3.7. Yeah.
3.7, but I would argue that in the 5 years, you could argue the 5 years difference is where those numbers went, but NBC didn't make this show to make another series for these people that they canceled a show on already.
Yeah.
Right.
They wanted to find a new audience, and they didn't. The numbers literally tell them that they didn't.
Yeah.
It was the same people who were watching, and it wasn't enough.
And you got to remember, if you take those numbers of this season into consideration, the highest numbers were the episodes where the original characters came back.
Oh, that's true.
So I think that's why there were higher numbers, because people who love those characters tuned in to those episodes to watch them again.
And new people weren't jumping on board. And thus, Heroes is officially canceled. We've got our last episode next week.
Can you expect new people to jump on board if you are going back talking about something 5 years ago? You know what I'm saying? People who are just now hearing about the show are going to be like, oh, it had a whole thing before? I didn't watch that. Maybe I shouldn't watch this because I'm not going to know what's going on.
Well, in today's society, as in internet streaming and whatnot, the people who tuned into the live numbers at those episodes probably went back and like binged the first 3 and then tuned into the live.
We probably got
playlist.
some, but I think, I mean, it was a big thing. They wanted to capture a new audience, a younger audience, which is why you see, you know, the younger characters, you know, Tommy and Melina, some of these leads. And then they brought in, like, the old characters to keep, you know, everyone who's then in it before. But like you said, they didn't capture a new audience.
Yeah.
They only captured the same audience who was doing it before, and even they were dropping off because they weren't liking it.
Yeah,
So,
but that's what they did before. Like, and creatively, like within the show, and we could rant on about what is and isn't in the show. The show has the elements that would be there for a new audience to pick it up cold. I know plenty of people who pick this show up cold and they didn't feel lost at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's X-Men. I get it.
Yeah, you could follow it based on just watching this season because I mean it's a new storyline and you don't have to know the older characters to truly know what was going on, understand the show.
And you only needed to be alive while season 1 of Heroes happened to know what happened, like to know the gist of Claire Bennett.
Yeah, yeah.
She was a hero, or she was a cheerleader who could never die. Essentially, she would always regenerate. If you save her, you save the world. That's all.
And the thing is, they didn't save her
Yeah.
for this season.
Yeah.
So is the world saved? Gonna be saved?
The
this
show's
season?
definitely not saved. Barned. Spinless.
Too soon.
Always
soon.
end on a rim shot.
Thank you, Eddie, for that.
We're gonna move into this episode. I have it broken down to 3 topics. The first
Only
of which
3?
The first of which is a little all over the place, but it's far away from Renatus, which is like how I like to break these things down. So I'm just gonna read it off: Melina, Luke, Quentin, Phoebe, Farrah, Micah, El Vengador, Joanne, and then El Vengador's son. I forget his name.
Oh, Carlos is
Carlos.
the Vengador, isn't it?
Carlos
Carlos
is-
No,
is
they were
that's the kid.
brothers, right?
Carlos is
Oh,
El Vengador. The kid is
Is
oh
it
my
nephew
gosh.
or their brother? Something like that.
All right, chat.
Nephew.
Yeah. Hey,
Nephew.
chat.
El
Help us out.
Vengador's brother. Sorry, there's one more person in
We're
this
all having
massive
a
topic.
Yeah, we're all having a brain fart. Chat, help us out. Hey, Wilson, Lydia, I know you're in there, so here we go.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna miss
and
you next
everybody
week,
else
too.
who
Definitely.
comments and
Yeah.
hits us up and stuff. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching. Sincere.
Nicholas Kelly says in the chat, #Sisters for Life.
Aw.
Farrah and Melina.
Aw,
She straight up threw herself in front of the bullet, man.
you're so
Yes.
cute, right?
All right, that's jumping the gun, though. Here we go.
Yeah.
I
We'll get
mean,
there.
Let's go
We'll
back
get
to
there.
Team Micah.
Jumping the gun! I didn't even realize
I
I
do
did
not
that!
know you did that.
Genius!
What
Come on.
I wasn't
He's
even
on
paying
a
attention.
I'm gonna miss this panel. Ivan Soto says it's the nephew. It's confirmed.
What is it?
The chat confirmed
It's the
it. It's the
nephew.
nephew.
Jose.
His name's
Jose. Okay.
Blame
you,
it on
guys.
the Healy.
It's affecting our powers of
So
remembrance.
here's the one thing I had about this: Quentin, Phoebe, Luke, Melina, all in a car, all somehow trying to get to
It's not
Renown.
a little racist. Like, you put all these Hispanics in one car, and then...
Wait, no, we're
Well, I
not,
guess
we're
it's
not
not
there
there
yet.
I'm talking about the other
We're
car.
Melina, Luke, and
Oh, right.
and
It was
Phoebe
like,
first.
well, look at Melina,
Oh,
not
the
so
other
much.
car.
Technically,
The
that's
other
all
car.
the white people. The white people were in the car.
My bad. Blame it on the
You got
Healy.
the
I
white
didn't
people car
even
and the
do
ethnic
that.
car. Where are we going? Blame it on the Healy. Hashtag blame it on the Healy. So yeah, they're all in the car and they're trying to get to Renatus.
Yeah, they're on the car. They're trying to get into Renatus. Luke is running the show somehow. Quentin is badish.
He's there. Quentin is present.
I don't think
That's
he's
what the-
bad at this point
No.
because I mean we see it later in the episode, but I was like, at no point did I believe he was trying to be bad, or because we saw in the last episode that he was turning. It was like you see, there's conscience there, and he felt that. So
Yeah, they
Like,
did. The
I knew
whole,
he was
yeah.
good.
They did the whole butterfly thing, then they went, nah, forget it. Let's just
I'm
make him
over it.
good. Yeah, man.
But that actually got under my skin a little.
I saw his reaction was priceless when we were watching it. You missed it, and when he went back, and was like, "If you're with us, Quentin, you're with us till the end." Okay.
okay.
And Steve was like, "I'm over it.
This is the way that whole
But what-
storyline.
I'm over it."
Because
I'm over it.
literally, we tore apart the fabric of time and space
Yeah.
to make Quentin turn on
Noah. The good
that was
guys.
the whole to turn Quentin heel.
to
If
turn
you-
him heel. To turn him heel.
To turn Quentin heel. That's all. You tore time and space apart to do that for him to literally in this episode to be like,
Yeah.
Well, as
She ain't
quickly
my
as it
sister.
changed, he changed back. So.
That's the truth. Yeah, he literally was like, "I want to be a good guy. I'm going to be a face again. F that noise." Like I'm good.
I didn't. I almost died.
Quentin
Yeah,
is such
forget
a,
it.
Quentin is such a
She's
disappointment.
daddy. That's not my sister.
Quentin is more of a disappointment than Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. That's saying a lot for my Dragon Ball Z fans.
It's also a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
deep
true.
reference.
Yeah, Gohan. He goes
He was
into
a
studying.
big disappointment. Anyway,
So
Okay.
yeah, so he takes him out into the woods to possibly shoot them because obviously they can't go to Renatus. So Luke takes him, away from Renatus and is going to take him into the woods and do like an old Yeller thing in the back. And he takes him out back.
Well played.
Yeah, he takes him out back, and then it's the stupidest thing. So Quentin knocks down Luke, the gun falls down, and Luke decides to chase after Phoebe without picking up the gun. Like, what are you thinking? Who wrote that scene? That was just one of the, 3 things that I have written down that was so unbelievably stupid in this episode. And I was like, oh, gosh, that was really dumb. So he chases after them, Quentin picks up the gun, and then gives it to him instead of shooting him. And it was really
reached
dumb.
for the gun, neither did for the gun.
I got an unbelievably stupid moment of tonight too. Oh, we should just do a whole category, but we haven't gotten to that
Wait till
part.
the end. We'll wait
But
till the end.
So, yeah, that was something that was bothersome.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
the only justification was that it was at night and they couldn't see well.
Yeah, but the thing is, the first thing you want to find is the
trying to
gun.
make
That it was
excuses.
just in your. I guess so, but you're not going to chase after her, who you know at this point she's going to try to get this thing out of her nose, and she can kill you. But then, even then, what are you going to do? Jump on her and strangle her to death? You have no firepower at this point because it's nighttime.
Right,
There
and
was
this
just
is
it was too many
This
holes.
was the
Anybody-
moment I was like, okay, Quentin, yeah, we get it, you're good. And handing over the gun to
Yeah.
prove that you're good. I'm like,
Not to
"Yeah,
mention, Quentin in that moment finally saw the light that I saw.
Oh, that Phoebe's a bee.
That we're over Phoebe.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like I was over Phoebe before that time travel episode.
yeah.
Where I was like, okay, can she? She was a good mid-level villain,
This.
I wouldn't even
Could
call
you
it
just-
mid-level.
but they're like a mid, not even a boss battle, just
Yeah, she would.
A
Yeah,
pawn. more
midway
so.
through the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like one of those
She's
midway
like-
bosses that you don't really fight that in a difficult manner. You don't have to prep
No.
for re-equip. You just
No,
walk
she-
up to her and
She's
kill
one
her.
of those people in the open world that you just randomly bump into and then have to quick fight him, and all you get is 2 experience points. off of it.
Ooh, I got 7 gil. All right.
Exactly.
But she is in fact of it. There aren't other. The game does have to stop for the 90 seconds it takes to beat her.
Yeah, but you won't get a good drop.
No.
There's no good drops.
Yeah,
She doesn't
no.
drop good items.
You don't
Yeah.
level up.
Yeah, no
Beating her.
magic
No, if
items.
you're playing through again, you'll avoid that spot to not have to fight her.
So they make it to the high school. It's and then this is another thing I didn't like is they make it to the high school and there's a picture of Hayden Panettiere by herself in the trophy case. Like, what the heck, man? Why is there a singular picture of her?
Well,
Because that's the only Claire Bennett we're going to get in the show.
I guess.
Also,
yeah, you're right.
and
You're
it's
right.
also-
Also,
photo
the only
they had
one we're going to
under
actually see a
contract.
physical version of her.
I'll also
It's
stand
in
by
picture
that.
form.
But why would they have just a single of her in the trophy case?
I think it's just story and literary sense is going 360. We started at Odessa, Texas, and we're going to end at Odessa, Texas.
but I'm saying also just why is there? Why? Because I see what you're saying. There are hundreds of cheerleaders come
Yeah.
through
I guess she is
a single
famous,
high school,
though.
but
She is famous.
That's
She's
what I
the
was gonna
famous
say that.
cheerleader.
Okay,
like
that's
that's.
She put Odessa on the map.
Literally,
I thought the same thing, and then I thought about it, and I was like, well, she is
Because in the course of the
Yeah.
3 years we weren't watching this show because they weren't making it, she would have become a famous
Yeah.
essentially a civil rights leader for Evos.
You are totally correct.
Yeah,
Like
she
state-
revealed the Evos.
statement
Yeah.
retracted. Totally
Fair
makes
enough.
sense. Makes sense. Perfect. You're right on.
I also remember when that show
stupid shit.
when that show ended, I thought there was a possibility of a 3-camera sitcom where Claire just sold her blood in Times Square. She just ran a store called Claire's Blood. She had a quirky best friend, a romantic interest, and her dad shows up, and everybody goes, "Woo!"
It's
No, I thought-
it's a
I don't-
3-camera comedy.
3-camera. I don't know
Yeah,
why
that's
we're.
well thought out.
I don't know why we're. I may have written a
pitched it.
pilot.
He
I
pitched
may
it.
have,
It didn't sell,
may have written a
unfortunately.
pilot called Claire's Blood.
So, guys,
That would have hit 10 million.
Heroes Reborn is canceled, but look forward to the pilot episode of Claire's Blood.
We can't afford Claire now.
Hashtag Claire's blood.
Hashtag Claire's Blood.
Hashtag
Yay,
Claire's
we
Blood.
got a good hashtag
Blame
on
it
that.
on
Claire's
the
Blood.
Healy.
Blame it on the Healy, Claire's Blood. Just Claire's Blood. So yeah, so then the plan here is for Melina to get into the high school, attract Tommy's attention by using her powers on the news crew, and the news crew will see there, and then she'll get out a message to Tommy.
Solid
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, solid idea.
Solid idea.
And I liked how
Without-
Micah actually amplified that.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
cool
you
beans.
go. You
Because
go.
I like how essentially without
They found a
without
purpose for
Micah's
them
help,
to be in this episode.
that's one of the notes I wrote. They underutilized Micah
Oh, completely.
Oh, for sure.
because
Yeah.
he can literally run the whole world. Like
Yeah.
He could.
he could make everybody's watch like self-destruct. Like he
Yeah, he
also so
could.
much wearable tech from Renatus.
Yeah,
So much wearable tech.
yeah. What was it? It was the Apple Watch.
Apple
Next,
Watch.
they're gonna have chains.
They're gonna
That
have,
should be the next thing. You have a chain.
they're gonna figure out every.
So yeah, it was Google Glasses Apple Watch. That was last week. Was
And they had the
Right,
chips
Renatus
too.
chain.
They had the internal chips
Yep.
that they can
Oh,
inject
they just
into. I was like,
yeah,
oh, wow, look at
creepers.
that. Yeah.
Jeez,
Way to bag and tag.
hate that. It's
It's like a more physical Big Brother on you. You know?
No, dude, that's the apocalypse right there, man. Read Revelations. I'm not going biblical. All
Also-
right, so
Ryan Whittleston in the chat is also asking. They didn't answer many questions, mainly about who the baby daddy is.
Well, you know
Who is
what?
We
Claire's?
still don't know.
oh yeah,
You know what?
No,
There's
I don't
also
think
a
they're
lot
gonna
of
answer
things
that.
in this show.
yeah, they're not going to answer
I don't
that.
Just give it up. All right.
I kind of want that.
Claire
one.
is the Virgin Mary. There
She's
you
the
go.
Virgin Mary. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I don't
She
think
can
they're.
regenerate cells.
You know, I'm going to save
Maybe.
this.
She
Well, you
thought
guys-
herself pregnant.
Yeah, this is going to be predictions. They're not answering that. I
Okay.
predict they will give us
I
nothing.
predict they will give us nothing. Like they've done for the past. Never mind. Let's move on.
Where are we going? We talked a lot about essentially Farrah, Micah, Oscar, Jose, and then Joanne's there as well.
Okay,
Oh.
this is. Can I go on this? My
Yes.
biggest
Yes, go
gripe.
for it.
My biggest gripe. Circled exclamation exclamation giant exclamation. Okay, so the message gets out. Everyone's at a good distance from Odessa, Texas. Tommy's the only
Everyone.
one who could feasibly get there instantaneously,
Everyone.
which he does. But somehow, Joanne, who has to drive there, makes it faster than Tommy the teleporter. Like, it would take a long time for Joanne to get there. That was absolutely
You
absurd.
couldn't be at the 7-Eleven down the street
Yes.
and got there that quick.
Yes.
No
She had
way.
I
less
get
than a
that.
day.
I get that. And I do not want to stick up for Joanna, but last episode she was sent on a mission to go after Melina and Luke. So she was tracking them. So who knows if she caught up with them?
She didn't know where they were.
Who knows if she caught up with them?
And then he
Last
said,
episode
he said
to
that we
now.
sent the team out for. We sent her out for
Yeah.
them.
So that means he sent her out at that point, which means there's no way she would get there
Yeah, no way
before
it's
Tommy.
not
Same with Otomo, and also Farrah and their team got there also at the same time. I call bullshit on that one. Excuse my French, but I
That
call
whole
it on
scene.
that one.
That whole
Although I
scene.
kind
Well,
of like.
you do got to remember it was the morning when they arrived. So
Yeah. So what? It took Tommy like all of a
It
sudden.
took them, like,
it took him
the night.
hours to teleport that time. Was he in just like the Nightcrawler like
well,
dimension,
Tommy
wondering where he was
Tommy
going to go?
was busy teleporting to different universes at that time
Yeah,
until he
Tommy
got the
can
message
do-
from
It
his
did
mother.
not take that long.
Also, Micah can control like the lights.
The-
So Mike, like he can control traffic lights.
oh yeah.
So he can get there on. He can get
He
everybody
can
there.
get there
But Micah
quick.
didn't go there.
Yeah, so I mean,
No,
well, I
Micah
don't
was
know.
with them. Micah was. He was.
Yeah,
Michael was there too. He was tucked away.
His
because-
team,
yeah.
his team got there.
Unless
That was
they-
so
yeah,
fast.
Unless they've got like their Apple Watch on, he can't like electrocute him or something. He can't do anything unless there's tech on them, which
Yeah.
that technically maybe.
Well, but if
All
the,
right.
I guess the
Renatus
Apple
changed
Watches don't.
2017.
Did the Apple Watches facilitate transport? Like, did the Apple Watches facilitate teleportation? At which point they don't need Tommy. They could use Micah.
Oh,
That's
Well,
interesting.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
because they need.
I think
need
the Apple
Tommy's
Watch is
ability.
more so like an ID. They're
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
Yeah.
think.
yeah,
Like,
you're
it
on the
could-
list. You're good to go to the future.
Yeah, it could
But if they
connect
do
to
anything-
Tommy's
yeah.
cerebro.
But
So,
if they
like,
do
yeah.
anything specific, then Micah would be able to activate that power, and you wouldn't need Tommy.
technically, I mean, but you know,
I'm thinking of stuff to do with Micah.
but Micah,
'Cause
yeah,
you're just-
exactly. But he
'Cause
can't
he's just
activate
Because they
the
there.
gotta
cerebro.
use him.
And he's an awesome character, and he's just sitting.
Yeah,
He's just carrying dead bodies at this point.
It was just cool to see Micah do something like you said.
Like carry a
but
dead
so
body.
BS, they all get there at the same time. Absurd. Joanne pulls the trigger.
Oh.
Yes. This was probably the best part of the episode. Joanne torched. Shush.
You didn't
She
enjoy
I
was
that.
put
You really
I
enjoyed
put
that.
in my notes fired her ass.
You're fired. Oh my
Literally
gosh.
fired.
Yes, that like thank God he torched her finally. So she was torched. She shoots Phoebe. No, she didn't. She shot Farrah. And yeah, and that was kind of all that went down there.
Two
right?
things. One, Lydia Cerebos in the chat says, Joanna is an Evo. Her power is plot convenience. I like that a lot.
Oh, Lydia, we're going to miss you after next week.
And two, I'm pretty sure it takes the same amount of energy to jump in front of someone as it does to get behind them and swing them away from a bullet. That's nitpicky.
Or she could have just gone up to Joanna and punched her in the face. Or she's military trained, could have just knocked the gun out of her hand. She could have broken her neck. She could have done a lot of things.
Could have gone
Luke
after
could have just shot
Joanna
her when he
instead
first saw
of
her.
blocking Melina.
Exactly.
But she took a bullet, and she'll probably be fine.
Yes, hopefully.
A lot of people in this show just seem to be fine.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, she was still
She
alive, so
seemed
I'm
to
like, okay,
magically
she
have
has hope.
babies.
They carried her away, and
Yeah.
supposedly she got immediate attention.
All right,
medical
so
help.
Joanne's gone.
Yay!
Thank goodness.
Was anyone else secretly hoping she'd never come back from winter break?
That was.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
just like...
Yep.
Same here.
They brought her back to torture. At least we got to see her die in a fabulous fashion.
I mean, that's
In a
nice.
blaze of glory.
in a blaze of
Yes.
glory.
Yep.
From her ex.
I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna move on with the rim shot.
Rim
to-
shot?
Then it's-
Aw, Eddie.
let's start with Matt and Taylor. Taylor is Taylor Cravid, who is pregnant.
Matt Fatman.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That was kind of low.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, not him as a person. We're talking about
His
the
character.
Yes.
Sure.
Karma came full circle there.
It did.
Damn.
That's what I wrote. Karma.
Yep. And then I wrote, what I wrote for that is, that's why it's illegal to talk on the phone, fool. Like,
crap. Now we have to move on.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
So Matt Parkman is going to die in a very, tragic way for him, at least. Great for the viewers because he's getting his
Yeah.
for being a D-bag, a villain this whole
entire-
time.
Pretty much, yeah.
So,
They do
Yeah.
take SmackDown on
yes,
Tuesdays.
they do Team SmackDown on
I can
Tuesdays.
hear you.
And it was great. You get to see his little Apple Watches float away, and he was like, "No, those things are expensive." And so,
I love how they were like double MacGuffin at that point.
double MacGuffin.
Well, MacGuffin is a thing.
Yeah.
MacGuffin's the thing that
Throws you off.
yeah.
Oh.
It's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Or the money in or the money in Psycho, that it's a plot device that ultimately means nothing, but it drives everything forward.
Okay.
So I love how the watches, even if he didn't lose them, would have been MacGuffin because Tommy's not there.
Exactly.
But we just double down on the fact that they're MacGuffin. Oh, and he doesn't have them.
You failed twice.
3 times if you include the watch that's on you that breaks.
That's true.
breaks,
Oh, that's
that's
right.
true.
3
Breaks.
times.
One
Yeah,
breaks,
I was
2
like,
go
well,
away.
you're gone.
There's no hope for you.
There
It's-
goes your chance.
Triple MacGuffin.
Yeah. I forgot I jumped the gun because we were so happy that I was so happy
got
that he
his.
got his. So he throws in Taylor, gun to her head, or she puts a gun
Yeah.
to her own head, and he's like, I win, bounced, peace out. And he does not win in the end, obviously.
I thought that was pretty cool. You could put the gun down now. That line was cool.
Did anybody? Part of me. Part of me. Most people on TV now don't put the phone to their face like that anymore, because that's not what any of us do. Because that's incredibly unsafe. And B, I like the little piece we got where it's like, honey, I know we haven't spoken, but it's gonna be okay. I'm finally gonna be the man. I'm finally gonna be the man and father I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I really wanted him to have screwed up in the past so bad that she won't talk to.
That she
like-
won't
Well,
even
that's
That
the
she'd
thing.
rather a solar flare kill the planet.
Yes.
And she die with her son than bring such negativity back into her life.
A la
See,
Taylor.
my problem with this Matt Parkman's relationship with Janet, or that was her name.
Likely Janet, yeah.
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 Was
I remember I
that
didn't
like
like her.
even in the previous seasons and their early relationship, it was always on and off, on and off. And at this point, we were led to believe it's off again. I was like, I really don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. He's still pursuing his wife,
Yeah.
who he's doing all these things and just to please her, and we don't even see her.
Yeah.
So there's no satisfaction in the end. We don't get a positive result out of it. So I was like, what's the point?
It's not like we liked her in the
We're
first
not
series
interested.
anyway.
So why keep bringing it up?
And I think they just wanted to build up his tragic
Janice,
end.
that's
You could ask that
Janice.
question.
Was Janice?
Had
Okay.
so many facets with this show.
Oh boy.
It's like I don't care about the relationship anymore to keep going with the storyline and puts.
You could
Yeah.
ask that question in so many facets of the show.
I will say one thing I loved about the episode: Erica Kravitz's backstory.
Yes.
I
Yes.
loved it.
It's actually really good.
Best
That was
part of the
good.
episode.
And handled tastefully, which
Yeah.
when I first saw where they were going, I was like, I don't have a lot of faith in this show to handle child rape.
But they did it.
They did
they
it.
went there.
They went
They
there and it
went
was
there.
fine. But the entire time I'm like, this might get bad.
Well, I love
I
it.
knew. I was
No,
like, no way that age difference, something had to happen. And sure enough, it did.
I was with them throughout the whole thing, and I was happy with it. I was like, okay, this is good.
It also gave a lot of credo to who Erica is and why she is who she is. You know, the way that she carries that kind of pain, and like, you know, she's, you know, raped and as a child and then murdered, and like I was like, wow, that's some really heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect it coming from the show, like to really go that far. And I was like, dude, represent. I mean, then she kills the guy, and it really also built up how much she actually does love Taylor, and
What Taylor's worth to her.
yeah, and so that all
They're
of a
like,
sudden,
I killed a guy and joined Primatech and set my
Just
life
to
into
save
the
you.
path that we are, like to save you.
Like out of love, and just to be. And the ironic thing is that her daughter still doesn't even want to be with her,
I know,
which is actually really sad. At that moment, I was like, oh, poor.
It's
that's a
sad,
good-
but then at the same time, you do understand.
Yeah, it's like I get it. That doesn't justify any of her reasons why she killed people. It was like, granted, she had a mission in life, but like she went down darker paths to get there. It's like, so in a way, it's like she got what she deserved as well.
And exactly. Everyone kind of got what they deserved, but it was nice to go. She's still she's evil and she's getting what she deserves, but at the same time, I went, well, at least I get her. Like I really get her.
Yeah.
Like it's a great dark
that's a-
It's like,
backstory.
I understand her motivation now.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Also, I will say, Big Guy 21 is saying that it feels like a little late to give her a backstory.
I wish they would have done this a lot sooner.
Because we had-
Yeah.
This isn't-
not. You
Yeah.
don't want to wait until the end of the
Not
season.
in the penultimate episode where
'cause
we know
this
solar
is-
flares are coming.
Yeah, like,
and it's not like
when the
she,
show gets canceled, you don't want to give us a backstory. Then?
but it's
No?
not like she like didn't show down with Taylor before. Like this is the fourth time she's like thrown down with Taylor.
Yeah.
That the second time would have been a perfect time to like, this is why I am what I am.
they could have done this a little more mid-season. It would have been really nice, and you would have really actually enjoyed her evilness for the rest of it, because you would have like had more understanding, and you would have felt for her a little bit more. I mean, even though she's awful, like, and that's what makes it great. Like the villains are so great because they always have the most like tragic and deep backstories, and she had it, and we just didn't get to see it
To
till now.
explain why someone
late.
feels that way is usually way harder
Yeah, and so
than to
thank you,
explain
big guy.
why
You were
somebody
right on.
like to explain why somebody wants to save the world. It's like, I think everybody wants to.
Yeah,
It's a matter of like, few of us can.
yeah. And
So-
and obviously this is why she doesn't like Evos and is playing God.
Yeah. It's all there.
stuff.
And
And she uses Evos for her own bidding.
Yeah,
Really sad.
yeah.
and then we get Taylor dropping the big bomb that it's like, I'd rather live in this world that's about to go than go with you.
Yeah. Oh, and her baby has explodey powers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently
yeah.
her baby gave her explodey powers.
Yeah.
It's so funny. This reminded me of Charmed. Because Charmed
Me
is a
too.
show when there was all witches, and every time a witch was pregnant, like they had the powers of their baby temporarily.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, this feels like Charmed.
Is
Is that the only explanation why she conveniently was like, oh hey, I'm feeling something. Don't mess with me because I am potentially an Evo.
Yep. Yeah. Boom.
Partially.
Blame it on the Healy.
Blame it
on
on
the
the
Healy.
Healy. What was the other one? Oh shoot, I already forgot.
Hashtag Claire's Blood.
Claire's
Claire's
blood.
The pilot I totally didn't write in college in 2010.
Yeah.
I was too busy doing college stuff. How could I have possibly had the time to write the 23-page recap of
Yes,
a sitcom
Nicholas
called
Kelly.
Claire's Blood?
Definitely why I'm
we
in
had a hashtag that was like huge. What was Hero Wars?
Hero
It was
Wars.
Hero
was
Wars.
amazing.
Yeah, let's make Claire's Blood like Hero Wars, man. That's a great one.
That would be pretty dope.
Since we're in the area of unless we had anything else on
No,
the
we're there.
since we're in the area of not Primatech, Renatus, dude, I was totally mad. How effing convenient that that Ren sits down next to Emily, strikes up this conversation,
Thank you.
and goes, "Let's
Thank
go
you.
find the master of time and space."
That was my idiot moment. That was mine. I was like, so you just randomly spill your guts to like the first chick that you sit next to,
and
in
she
a
does it to
building?
you.
And like, no, one of the best lines out of this moment is like, dude, I'm dating him.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
How many times has this happened a week?
Just like Luke always saw Melina there, it's like, oh hey, I know this person.
How convenient.
Convenient.
They're gonna win the convenience awards.
Yeah, what was what Lydia said? The power of plot device.
Plot convenience.
The power of plot convenience.
Fantastic,
'Cause it
Lydia.
was.
Why is she there?
I think
'Cause we need her
everyone
to be
has
there.
that power.
Yeah, exactly.
The story doesn't make sense if this doesn't happen.
It's like just an awful moment. I was sitting there going,
terrible.
"Oh God." Like
That reminds me
poor
of
writing on that one.
That reminds me of a funny anecdote that the audio track for Pearl Harbor that you can listen to, I believe on the Criterion Collection, has Ben Affleck personally talking about how he spoke to Michael Bay and he was like, "This movie's cool and all, but why wouldn't it be easier to train astronauts to drill than to train drillers to be astronauts?" And he was like, "Shut up, Ben."
Yes.
You're talking about
shut up,
Armageddon or Pearl Harbor?
Sorry, I meant Armageddon.
Armageddon is what you're going. But you know
Although
what?
they did work
I
together.
kind of want to.
Armageddon.
I kind of want to listen to the audio track to Armageddon to Pearl Harbor now. But
Oh, well, Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor sucks.
I digress.
But I love you.
That's right.
So Tommy's a little naive in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, only a little.
Only.
Like he honestly thinks like, oh, I can save the most people if I work with Erica, and then he just realizes that I think she only wants to take 12,000 people.
12,000. That's like a good number to make it look like we want to save the world, but it's like,
I think she
let's
only
not
wants to
overdo
take
it,
12,000.
12, but like that's.
But okay, so during that whole scene when they were
1,998.
strapping him up, and then you saw like how torturous that was for him. Just in that one instance that he popped like a dozen people, it's like you have to do that for 8 straight more hours. They're gonna kill.
Yeah.
That just looks boring.
I was like,
Yeah.
But then
They
I
only,
think
they only took 8
they're
people.
like, keep him stable for 8 hours. I was
I don't
like,
know
no,
why
you're
they-
gonna kill him.
And the first time he gets up to take a bathroom break, they're like, they're talking very openly about the fact we only take 12,000. What?
What?
None de bayo.
So we have a healthy population status.
also, if they could have imprisoned him in Evernow the whole time, why bother? Why
Yeah.
bother using his complaint? Like,
All he had to do was give Ultimo a high five, and he was in Evernow. Ultimo could have been like, "Hey, nice job, boom, gotcha."
I get it. They eventually needed to flip Ultimo,
yeah,
but like the whole thing,
yeah,
that whole thing,
it was absurd.
because ultimately he's where his father is,
Yeah,
trapped in Evernow.
yeah.
Ren is gonna have to go in and get him. Emily is gonna help,
Or
I guess.
I have a prediction about Evernow, but we'll get
You want to save it? Save
yeah,
it
I'm
for
saving it.
predictions.
We're almost
Save
there,
it,
but
save it.
we'll just talk about a couple of
This is
the
my
other.
face through the entire episode.
I think it was very convenient that Renata's floor, when Emily and Ren were going after them, was like, oh, this is exactly like the game. This is convenient. I know
Right.
exactly how to get through this place.
Yeah. Oh, look.
I
right
don't
Let's
know.
take the elevator.
Ottomo and/or a writer
Ottomo. Clever, Ottomo.
wrote me a backdoor to this exact location.
Yes.
Very clever, Ottomo.
There was a lot of points where I was like, "Boy, writers, we're really working hard." Oh, I did. This is my note though. I wrote, "They're really trying to wrap it up, huh?" Like
They're just in the writer's room with the little wrap it up box
Although-
and the music playing.
Although, did anybody else? Because the way I felt with that scene in the gym was like an everybody get in here kind of a scene.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like more people, it got convoluted, and Micah and Farah and El Vengador show up for the first time in the whole episode.
And don't do anything.
And I'm like, this is the second to the last episode ever. And you're just bringing in more. Everybody get in
like,
here.
are you available to
we
shoot?
did it.
Everybody
on
get in
Tuesday?
here. And then
Okay.
I was like, are
no
they gonna?
lines. Don't worry. You just need to come.
And it was literally like, are they just gonna shoot people? Or they're just gonna kill a bunch of people in this room?
Yeah.
So
To
come
just-
in.
Because at this point, you have to funnel us to what you're doing next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
already
exactly what it
there's
felt
just
like.
too many balls in the air.
Well,
Basically,
my-
just walk in, walk over there, and then walk back. It's
Well,
the whole scene. We've
Also,
got it.
my
Don't
problem
worry.
is like this whole episode, we got contents throughout the episode. How many hours to the first solar flare? We still didn't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it
we
would've-
know there's 2 coming up, and we still didn't even see the first one. Come on.
Yeah, I
man.
agree with you there. It would have been nice, and we talked about this last week. It would have been nice to like have this episode like be like the first flare. Would have at least ended with the first flare. Like
Yep.
would have been nice to like take us to that point. But I mean, it already felt like they were funneling so much. I was like, maybe they couldn't do it. But at the same time, that's just because they didn't plan this out accordingly. Maybe they thought there was going to be a second season.
See, I think in place of Erica's
blame
backstory,
it on the
where it
Healy.
should have been placed in another episode, they should have had the solar flare as the story point.
Yeah, because you're right. It's a little too late for Erica.
Yeah.
Although I was happy to see it. You're right. Big guy is pretty right. It was too late.
Way
Yeah, too late for you, Erica.
Yeah.
It wasn't too little because it would have been
great.
Would have been incredibly
great.
impactful, and she wouldn't have been such a laughably one-dimensional villain
Yeah.
if this happened in episode 6.
Yeah, I agreed.
True.
Yeah.
And I know they had a lot of other stuff to get in, and like like of all the stuff they threw at the wall on this show, I would say 75% of it was very good.
There was some, really
and there
good
was a
stuff.
matter of dropping that 15 and then reshuffling, and it just didn't.
25.
It just didn't seem to. Well,
Yeah.
you have to assume 10% is just gonna suck.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good point.
Drop
That is
15
very
and
fair,
then
actually. Yeah.
Drop 15 because you don't know which 10% is gonna suck.
Uh-huh. That's pretty fair. Yeah, the seasons we're coming to the last one, guys. If you're in the chat, yeah, if you're in the 10% is gonna suck. Claire's blood, 90% is gonna kick ass.
Yeah, 90% could have saved this show.
Yeah, let us know how you guys feel in the chat about the show and about last episode next week. I mean, about this journey that we've taken up here to the end.
Speaking of next week and the journey, it's time.
Is it time?
This is our second to last ever time.
Oh boy.
This is our only time.
We
to
don't need to do predictions.
Oh.
This will be our last prediction.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is our last
And now,
ever.
your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, who's got what?
I've got one.
right.
I've got one. Tommy and his sister are going to zap the Healy to another place.
How does Tommy get out?
I don't know.
How does he zap the Healy?
He's gonna teleport the
I don't know.
entire
He's not
Healy
gonna
itself.
burst
entire
into
Healy
flame,
itself.
getting
Nope.
physically
He's going to
across.
zap the Healy somewhere
How
else.
is Farrah gonna help
But
him?
he has to touch.
I have no idea.
Or sorry, how is
Look. I don't write this damn shit.
how's Mommy gonna help him?
You know what?
Okay.
And just thinking about that, what they could do is if the Healy was coming, and what's it called? Melina has to stop it and do like her mojo, her elemental control avatar style.
Yeah.
If the Healy is like hurting her too much, he can stop time and just let her
See?
do it in place.
That's what I was saying.
Technically, he can give her as much time as she wants. She could take years, like being like, "I'm going to chip away at this thing. Let's go get. I'm
little bit
hungry.
at a time.
Let's go get a bite to eat. I'm going to come chip away some more. Just keep everything frozen." Technically, they could do that. I don't think that's going to how it would happen. However, with those two powers combined, they are Captain
Why
Planet.
not?
Yeah, they could do that.
Captain Planet.
And Tommy does have the ability to do that again, because even his mother was like, "I was wondering when you were going to get that."
And I think that's kind of important. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's telling to how he's going to use his powers.
That's actually when I got the idea.
I think he's going to stop and freeze people just at the moment before their death, like imminent death, and then he
pop
stops time, saves them in that way.
So
and
you're
he
saying-
might pop people out at convenient times for them.
He's gonna stop the whole Earth right before the solar flare happens. Get all the books he needs to learn how to pop the whole Earth somewhere else.
Maybe.
And that's
First of all,
given. Go for it.
we need Tommy out of Ever now, and we know Micah is now free. He has
that's
ability
right.
with
That's a
technology.
good
I think
call.
Micah is going to play a big part in releasing
Hey.
Tommy.
That's a nice
That's a
call.
nice one.
I love that
Yeah.
prediction, dude.
It's like we got to
makes
put Micah
sense.
to work.
Mike, and I would love to see Micah pretty much be God mode in Ever now.
Yeah.
Or to give Ren God mode in Ever now.
That's true. I mean, no, you're so right. I mean, this changes the game with Micah out of the box.
Yeah, because the first time.
Hashtag Micah out of the box.
Micah
First
out.
time he was in
Hashtag
the
get
box.
Micah out of the box.
Yeah, he was in the box and he couldn't get Hero out, but now that he's out of the box, he can get anyone out of the box.
Yeah.
Literally.
That was
70
good.
boxes.
I liked it. That was really good. Oh
my
Micah
God.
out of the box.
70
Oh my God.
boxes.
Oh my God.
70 boxes.
That was really good.
Oh,
Did you have another prediction though, Marissa?
No, that was pretty much
That
it.
was the one.
It was like, first we got to get Tommy out. And then, obviously, Noah has to come back. How
Yeah.
does he come
Noah's
back?
there. Yeah.
We saw him in the preview.
saw him in the
Tommy
preview. How
put him
does he come
somewhere.
back?
Where did Tommy put him?
Yeah, I
Is
know,
he
right?
stuck in Ever now, too? That would suck.
That would.
No,
I don't
only
think Tommy
Ultimo
has
could do
control.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Tommy can now because he knows where it is.
But he got popped to somewhere. Noah was
Noah's
popped to
safe.
somewhere else. He has to come back.
Yeah, because we even had him for 2 episodes. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
But in the timeline, that's pretty much only like 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Because this episode was 10 hours.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
point.
somewhere like one day.
So
Yeah. Do you have any predictions, Steve?
I don't know how, and I don't think they'll do it now.
Only 1 episode.
But I want Tommy to be his own father.
Oh, come on. A la Futurama? Yeah.
I want the grandfather theory. I want the Haitian. I want Tommy to get out. I want Tommy to get out of Ever now, save the world. The Haitian to wipe his brain. Him to go back in time to that high school in Odessa, and be like, man, she's cute.
Yeah.
That's so messed up.
Oh, my gosh. That's definitely
you-
not going to happen.
Can you?
No, I'm doing it.
It was hilarious in Futurama. I will say that. It was very
Emphatic
funny.
no.
Stranger things have happened
in
this namesake. Not necessarily this series, but in the Heroes universe, stranger things have happened.
I'm going to go out with my prediction, which is going to counter that and say we're going to get nothing about the father.
Nothing.
We're going to get nothing about the father.
Absolutely nothing.
The only thing we may get is, like an episode of, oh gosh, what is that show? You are not the father. You are not the father. You are not the father. Maury Povich.
Reverse Maury.
Oh, Maury Povich.
That's a reverse Maury.
Yeah. I'm totally, you are not the father.
Points to every person
You are
possible.
not the father. We are going to get nothing about the father. That's what I'm saying. It's going to happen. Nothing.
Some of us need answers.
Yeah. And
some of us want to know if it's Khaliel or not.
Yeah, and I mean,
well, that would mean Claire ain't dead. If it was.
Oh, jeez. Every week we do the Claire ain't dead.
We got to
every
at least
week,
once.
you guys.
I didn't even say it this time.
I know.
I didn't say it.
Although, could you imagine if they already
It's so
wrote and
prevalent.
shot this finale, and it implies something to the effect that Claire isn't dead,
Oh my gosh! If
and they're
that
already canceled?
if that comes around to bite me in the ass, the fact that I've been vehemently saying that Claire is dead, and you've been saying Claire's not dead, if that comes around on me. I will not do another episode of Heroes Reborn.
There you go. So Claire. So, according to you, Claire is not dead, or Claire is dead, and the baby daddy is MacGuffin.
Yes, it's a MacGuffin.
My daddy.
MacGuffin.
I'll work on it. I'll workshop that.
You know what?
Dad Guffin.
Write it into Claire's blood. Claire's blood.
That's due for a rewrite.
Hashtag Claire's blood.
Hashtag Claire's blood.
Yeah, so this is it until next week.
This is until next week. That's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
We've had a great time.
We have.
Yeah.
We've had a great time talking about this episode with you guys.
We have.
In the last week, we get to look forward to a Heroes Reborn. Starting with Marissa, where can the people find you?
You can all follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV.
Yeah.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
That's right. You can find me at Kaibacat. And you know what, guys? I would love for this. Look at the shows that are coming out,
Yes.
and give us what do you guys want to see us all on? We want to bring this whole panel
We can
back.
come on as a panel.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So let us know what you guys are into so we can come back as a panel.
We're a package deal.
That's right. Write to us. You guys, we always answer the comments. We're always right here listening to you guys, and we're so glad that you guys were with us for this entire run, and we'll see you next week, right?
Next week.
And Steve.
And you can
I'll
find
bring
me
the
on Twitter
popcorn.
at Steve Kaufmann, KAUFMANN. I do a lot of shows here at AfterBuzz TV. I tweet them out regularly. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Hashtag blame it on the Healy.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.